Welcome, welcome into Lee Jordan Field here in Chugiak, Alaska for today's game 2 of the doubleheader between the Miners and the Chinooks. The Chinooks got the better of the Miners in game 1 with a score of 7-6. So the Miners now sit at 13-9, and the Chinooks are up to 10-11. So one game under that 500 mark. And with the quick turnaround, we'll run through your starting lineups for the Matsu Miners. Leading things off and playing left is Chugiak-Eagle, followed by second baseman Danny Wright. And in the 3 spots, designated hitter Austin Pinarini. In the cleanup job is first baseman Spencer Henson, followed by right fielder Hunter Jump. And he will be followed up by catcher David Avitia. And in the last 3 spots is third baseman Tyler Bozetti, shortstop Drew Swift, and center fielder Braden Merritt. We're about ready to get things going. And we mentioned Connor. It looked at first it was going to be a bit of a pitcher's battle, but really the bats came out. A total of 25 hits and 13 runs scored in that game 1.
Yeah, it was really tough. The bats, they're alive. The pitching, it was there and then it wasn't. Inning to inning, Guardado, it was a fine start. Couple errors didn't really help him out. Extended his pitch count, led to some unearned runs against him. But, all in all, he didn't do a bad job. Just couldn't hold on to the lead.
Yeah, just sort of got some tough breaks and unfortunately took the loss. Nevertheless, Chugiak-Eagle stands in from the left side of the dish to face the right-hander Larson Kindrick. He comes in. This is his 4th appearance and 3rd start. His first pitch to start game 2 misses high around Kona's chest, so the count's now moved to 1-0. Mentioned Larson Kindrick on the mound. 4th appearance, 3rd game start, 10 2/3 innings to his name. His second pitch hits the lower part of the plate. He now 1-1 rather. And Kindrick actually has 15 strikeouts so far on the season. The big lefty winds and deals, big breaker. That just misses outside. The count's now 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, top of the 1st inning. We're just now getting started here in the game 2 of today's doubleheader. So Kindrick looks in. His 2-1 pitch swung on. It's slicing and foul ground over to the left side, but that's just going to drop in front of the fence, and the third baseman Wharton can't exactly hold on to it. So the count will be at 2-2. Kindrick has seen the Miners before. Back on June 19th, he started. Went 4 innings pitched, gave up 4 runs, all of them earned. So the Miners definitely did have a nice, day last time Kindrick was on the mound. Nevertheless, the 2-2 pitch. Breaker misses outside. Chugiak-Eagle has worked the count full. As Kindrick actually pitched in game 1 of the doubleheader. Last time these 2 teams played in a doubleheader, and Chugiak-Eagle strikes out for out number 1. That's his 3rd strikeout in the row. It ended up in game 1 striking out twice in his final 2 at-bats. Nevertheless, 1 down, top of the 1st inning. That brings up Danny Wright, the second baseman. Wright went 1 for 4 back in game 1. Had a couple of errors out on the base paths on the defensive side, so looks to switch that up. Nevertheless, Kindrick's first pitch to Danny Wright hits the outside edge. The count's now 0-1. We're here at Lee Jordan Field, a partly sunny day with temperatures around 60 degrees. As Kindrick deals the 0-1. Nice frame there from Fullerton. As Brad Polk calls it a strike, now right down on the count, 0-2. Danny Wright, we mentioned, getting a first start in a few days because of some back troubles. The 0-2 is fouled right off the helmet of J. Paul Fullerton.
Yeah, that's why they wear the helmet back there. Can get dangerous.
Indeed. So the count will stay at 0-2. So the Miners looking to win today and move their on-the-road record to 506-6. The loss, they fell to 5-6. And Kindrick misses just outside with the breaking pitch. Kindrick just graduated from Crater High School. Brothers with Honus Kindrick, a relief pitcher for the Chinooks. His 1-2 pitch looked at and missed high. So the count's now 2-2, where he had a strict stretch of 36 2/3 hitless innings in his senior year on the way to their state title game. That streak was broken in the top half, or in the 1st inning of that state title game. They did, however, go on to win as he misses high, and now we're full with 1 down in the top of the 1st inning. Danny Wright looking to get things going for the Miners. So Kindrick's full count pitch misses high. The Miners have their first base runner of the day on a walk. And that's the first walk of the day issued by the Chinooks, as they did not have 4 straight balls thrown to the Miners at all in game 1.
Well, the Chinooks pitching staff last game, they found the zone. They were trying to get the Miners to swing, and they were able to do so. So they kept it around and did a nice job locating their pitches.
And the Miners, that's only their 77th walk of the season. Entering game 1, they were tied for 4th. So Austin Pinarini steps in. He'll now see a lefty-on-lefty matchup as Kindrick misses high and in. Danny Wright stands on first. The Miners looking to get going early. They did not score in inning number 1 of game 1. Kindrick's 1-0. Fastball misses high. Kindrick standing out there 6'3" out of Medford, Oregon. So he's working from the stretch to begin this ball game. Nevertheless, long look at first, kick and fires. Misses inside once again to Austin Pinarini. So the count's 3 balls, no strikes. 1 out, top of the first inning. Have not seen anyone score yet. Pinarini 2 for 4 in game 1 with 3 RBIs with a 3 RBI triple. I would say bases clearing triple, but the bases are going to be clear regardless if you get a triple.
Very true.
The 3-0, Pinarini taking all day long. Counts now moved to 3-1. The Miners only seeing 1 pitcher in that game 1. Guardado went all 6, where he gave up 7 runs, 5 of which were earned. A Larson 3-1 pitch, that misses high. And that'll be back-to-back walks the Miners have drawn. So runners on first and second with only 1 out.
Now we'll see Spencer Henson. We got to see if he has a new bat or if it looks like a new one. He had a break of the bat in his last at bat. So let's see how a new bat does. He was red hot going into the game 1.
It really was. 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. One of those RBIs coming off a solo home run, which once he hit, he knew it immediately with the wind blowing out from center field. We can barely see the American flag flying that way, almost hiding behind the flagpole. Nevertheless, 2 on, 1 down. Top of the first inning, Kindrick kicks and deals. He'll hit the outside edge for the first strike to Henson. Henson out of Oral Roberts University, where he just won the Triple Crown for the Summit League this past spring and had a nice pitching performance last night. Kindrick is 0-1. Big breaker has Henson swinging. He fouls it off. Henson last night on the mound came in straight from first base. 1 2/3, only allowed a hit and had 2 strikeouts. And the Miners are 3-0 when Henson pitches and hits. So he does a good job of shutting down hitters when he's on the rubber. But when facing hitters, he's definitely punishing them. So the 0-2 to Henson. Breaker, he waits on it nicely and lines it out into left field down towards the line. Around third, coming in to score is Danny Wright. The left fielder, Largusa, throws in. It's cut off by the shortstop, Ozunya, but not before the Miners tack on the first run of this ball game and now lead the Chinooks 1-0.
You know, Henson just day in and day out, he hits. You know, and when you hit, you can find a position. First base is where he's normally at. Sometimes he's the designated hitter, or at times he's on the mound, but he can just hit. It's really been fun to watch him play.
So those 2 walks come to cost Larson Kindrick, as the Miners now runners on second and third with only 1 out here in the top of the first. Hunter Jump stands in, the left-handed hitting right fielder. He'll look at a strike inside, so we'll move the count to 0-1. Jump did have an RBI back in game 1, and that was his first since June 19th. So nice to see Jump get back in that column. Now his RBI counts up to 9. Kindrick's 0-1 misses low. The count's now 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Miners very threatening. Henson on second, Pinarini on third. Pinarini reached on the walk, and Henson just had an RBI single. Jump swinging, fouls it off to the left side and out of play. He's down on the count 1-2. Hunter Jump, the Arizona State Sun Devil, where this past spring, batted .370 in just 36 games played as he looks at a ball in the turf. Counts now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Jump. Two and 2 is the count. Top of the first inning. The Miners have already tacked on 1 to lead the Chinooks 1-0. Only playing 7 in this game, ladies and gentlemen, because of the doubleheader. The 2-2 misses low, so the Miners have worked yet another full count against Larson Kindrick.
You know, the one thing I've noticed, the umpires are not going to give the low strike. Anything that's low in the zone, that's been called a ball all day.
So Kindrick's full count. He comes set, chest high, his pitch. That'll miss low. Hunter Jump will walk and load the bases for catcher David Avitia and try to extend this 1-0 lead.
Well, this is just what the Miners needed. You know, you come out, you get on base, you load the bases here in the top of the first inning. Disappointing loss in game 1, but another chance here to at least tie the day.
So the right-handed hitting Avitia will face the left-hander in Kindrick. With only 1 out, bases are juiced. The first pitch to Avitia is looked at low. That's a strike. So Kindrick has already walked 3 Miners batters. As the runners on the corners were walked on, Henson with the RBI single. The 0-1 is a breaker that's missed low. Rather, it was a double as Henson moved over to second. 0-2, 1 down. Top of the first inning, Miners looking to extend this 1-0 lead. Kindrick looks in. He's been working from the stretch ever since the second batter. His 0-2. Breaker misses low. Counts now 1-2. So Kindrick, it can't be overlooked that he's coming into this season not even playing a pitch of college ball yet. Can get all the tips and tricks from his older brother Honus, but until you actually play it, it's tough to resemble it. The 1-2 delivered in gets Avitia swinging out of his shoes. He was fooled.
No, and just to speak to that, you know, this is a tough league to break into. You know, to have any success up here is a major accomplishment, and Kindrick's been doing that so far.
So we will see a mound visit from the pitching coach of the Chinooks. With this break, we'd like to thank the official sponsor of the Matsu Miners internet broadcast, Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, and owner Jim Ruda. Enter into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska to enter for your chance to win a Matsu Miners jersey. Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So Chris Beck out there from Xenia, Ohio, speaks to Kindrick, give him some wise words as he faces Tyler Bozzetti. The third baseman came in to pinch hit in the 3rd inning of game 1. Ended up going 0 for 3. So Bozzetti looking for his first hit today. Bases are full. 2 down, top of the first inning. Miners already leading 1-0. Bozzetti swinging at the first pitch. He misses and now goes down 0-1.
You know, Bozzetti's been slumping a little bit as of late, but he has the tools to be able to turn it around and turn it around quick.
Has squared up on a lot of balls in batting practice and sent him out, so looking for a big hit right now. The 0-1 to Bozzetti misses low. The count now 1-1. Bozzetti the past week has only batted at an average of .1 in double zeros with just 2 hits in his past 20 at-bats. So as we enter the middle part of the season, you'd like to pick things up. 1-1. Bozzetti swings and misses. He's now down on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, top of the first inning. Miners leading the Chinooks 1-0 as they fell in game 1. So look to split today's doubleheader before the day off tomorrow. So Kindrick looking in. He's trying to set down Bozzetti and get out of this slight jam. He comes set chest high. And Bozzetti calls time. Kindrick looked in for a while for his pitch. So Bozzetti wants time to regather himself, check the batting gloves, grab a tip of the helmet, and stand back in. Nevertheless, 1-2 count. Kindrick's pitch. Looked at low. Counts now 2-2. Bozzetti out of the University of Nevada, Reno. Playing third base tonight, or this game, came in for Connor Denning and stayed at second base back in game 1. Nevertheless, the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed by Tyler Bozetti. So Larson Kindrick, all three of his outs were strikeouts, but does allow a run on just one hit thanks to Spencer Henson. In the minors will enter the bottom half of the first inning, leading 1-0. Lee Jordan Field is the site of today's ball game as the Miners leading the Chinooks 1-0 here in game 2 of today's doubleheader. And the Chinooks lineup goes as follows. Leading things off, right fielder Bailey Collins, followed by the catcher J. Paul Fullerton. In the 3 spot is third baseman Jordan Wharton, cleaned up by shortstop Gregory Ozunia, followed by the designated hitter Logan White. And in the 6th spot is first baseman Danny Dopp. And the last 3 due up for the Chinooks are left fielder Jaron Largusa, second baseman Thomas Harper, and in the 9-hole, center fielder Anthony Forte. They will take on the left-handed thrower out of Santa Barbara City College, Ian Churchill. Churchill, this is his 2nd start of the season, and back in his last appearance was his first start. No decision through 4 1/3. 1 run, which was earned, had 5 strikeouts, and only allowed 1 walk. So Churchill's been pretty dominant for these Miners of late, ever since coming in. His first pitch is lined foul over to the right side by Bailey Collins. Churchill on the season has a 1-0 record, has given up 3 runs. Only 1 has been earned, however, giving up 10 hits, 10 1/3 innings pitched with a 1.74 ERA. And he's ahead in the count now, 0-2 to Bailey Collins. Collins, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Collins batted second back in game 1, where he went 1 for 3. So the 0-2 pitch is fouled off to the left side and out of play. So Churchill out trying to show himself, as always pitching from the stretch. Chest high, kicks and deals. Collins is swinging. This is skied high, deep into right field. Does it has enough? It does not. Hunter Jump will be back to the warning track. Bit of a hold your breath out there for the Miners. Nevertheless, it is the first out of the ball game, and we'll run through your defensive starters for the Miners. Man behind the plate today is David Avitia. Third base, Tyler Bozetti. Shortstop, Drew Swift. At second base, Danny Wright. And over at first is Spencer Henson. Left to right in the outfield, Kona Quiggle, Braden Merritt, and Hunter Jump. 1 down, bottom of the first inning, as J. Paul Fullerton swings through the first pitch offered to him. He's down on the count, 0-1. 1 down, bottom of the first, Miners leading 1-0. So Churchill now will work out of the windup. Little change up to the second batter as his second pitch hits the outside corner. Counts now 0-2. So Churchill, back-to-back batters, he's gotten 0-2. His pitch just misses outside. David Avitia tried to frame it. That's going to be Churchill's first ball of the game. Nevertheless, he looks in. His 1-2. Swung on and missed by J. Paul Fullerton. Ian Churchill records his first strikeout of the night on out number 2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Nice pitching showcased so far by Ian Churchill, coming out on fire. And he's been thrown in the ringer in some situations, but hasn't looked past it. Done quite well for these Miners. The third batter he'll face is Jordan Wharton, who fouls it back over the box.
You know, ever since Churchill got here, he's done a very nice job. He's got in, he's thrown strikes, and he's been productive.
So Churchill ahead in the count, 0-1. Winds and deals. Nice fastball on the outside edge. The count's now 0-2. So 3 batters in a row. Ian Churchill has started them off 0-2. Looks to set him down. His pitch. Skied high in the air over to the right side. Henson en route, but he'll run out of room as that ball goes out of play. Churchill, the first time actually he came on to appear for the Miners, was against the Chinooks, where he went 3 2/3, gave up 1 run, which was earned on 3 hits. So Churchill kicks and deals, misses high. The count's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Miners leading the Chinooks 1-0. Here this nice day at Chugiak. Today's doubleheader. Game 2. Churchill's 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Count will stay at 1-2. So only playing 7 due to today's doubleheader. So Churchill trying to set down Wharton. Long look in for this 1-2 pitch. His offer is popped up high in the air over to the right side. Henson moves to his left in foul territory and will make the catch for out number 3. So the Chinooks go down in order to begin their batting half of the game. And the Miners head into the second inning on top 1-0. Welcome back into Lee Jordan Field. The Miners leading the Chinooks 1-0 in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. The Miners will have Swift, Merritt, and Quiggle due up. So we will see the top of the Miners order in this second inning. Back in the first inning, the Miners got it going quickly. Scored 1 run thanks to an RBI single from Spencer Henson. However, they did leave the bases loaded. Kindrick did a nice job of working his way out of that. And his first pitch is swung on by Swift. That's flied in the air to right. Making the catch is Bailey Collins for out number 1. So Braden Merritt will step in, the left-handed hitting center fielder out of Chandler, Arizona, in Hamilton High School, where actually he was high school teammates with Drew Swift. So the first pitch into Merritt, misses high. That'll be ball 1. Merritt back in Game 1 really had 2 hustle hits. One was off a bunt, and then one was a shallow hit that he ended up getting to second on. And the count's now 1 ball, 1 strike to Merritt. Merritt now, after Game 1 on the season, as the 1-1's delivered, misses in the turf. Count now will move to 2-1. Batting .244 and has really been on a tear the past 7 days. Batting at the mark of 300, getting 6 hits in his past 20 at-bats. So looking to keep his success going. The 2-1, that's shot high in the air into shallow left center field. Moving in, making the catch is Largusa for out number 2. So back-to-back flyouts for the Miners as Kona Quiggle steps in. Left-handed hitting left fielder. Kona Quiggle making the nice defensive play for the Miners. Back in the 4th inning, he threw out a runner, which could have been another one, but was a very nice play. Nevertheless, he steps in. Struck out back in the 1st inning in his first at-bat. Kindrick's first offering to Quiggle nails the lower part of the plate. Counts now 0-1. So Kendrick looks in. Second offering to Quiggle, kicks and deals. That's going to be a strike. Quiggle is now down on the count 0-2. But Quiggle now on a 6-game hit streak, thanks to this hit back in game 1. Big breaker. That drops in the zone for strike 3. So Kona Quiggle is set down for the second time tonight on strikes. And the Miners are set down in order to begin this second inning. They still lead the Chinooks 1-0 on Matsu Miners Radio. We're back into the bottom half of the second inning. Ian Churchill looks to continue his success on the mound. He's set down the Chinooks in order to in the bottom of the first inning. So due up are the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Chinooks. So Zunia will start things off from the left side of the box. Churchill's first pitch misses outside. So this is the first time he's delivered a first pitch ball on the game. Well, Zunia 1 for 3 back in game 1. Second pitch is fouled back, literally right back at us. So probably came in near our camera. There was not a fence here. I probably would be at the hospital right now.
Either you or me. I mean, somebody's getting hit.
Yeah.
Monahan probably would have caught that.
Yeah, the 1-1. This is outside. Counts now 2-1. Mentioned name Monahan. Nolan Monahan next to us getting the on the speed gun, getting all the pitches down. Nice start. Yesterday went 3 innings. Only allowed 1 hit and 3 scoreless. As the 2-1 is flied over to the right side. That's in foul territory. 3 Miners in pursuit. But the one in making the grab is Danny Wright. 4 out, number 1. So nice communication there for the Miners.
Now in your scorecards, that's a long F4.
Yeah.
It's almost a fly out to right field in foul territory. But Danny Wright doing a nice job getting all the way over. Good hustle and a good out.
Nice hustle by all 3 Miners over there in foul territory. So we'll see Logan White, who had a great game 1, went 2 for 3, had a triple. I really got the scoring bonanza going in that 4th inning, where they scored 4 runs. He fouls one out of play to the right side. White, the designated hitter today, caught back in game 1. So lefty on lefty matchup. Churchill winds and delivers, gets White to swing through. He is ahead in the count, 0-2. In the past 3 games now against the Chinooks and Miners have been decided by 1 run, as the Chinooks pull a little closer in the season series, 3-2. Miners still on top. Churchill misses outside with the fastball. Nicely placed 0-2 pitch. Sun is starting to really shine here at Lee Jordan Field. Churchill looks in. His 1-2 pitch is on its way. Big breaker. Just missed the outside corner, and I don't think I've ever seen this in my life. White took a step towards the dugout. I think he thought it was strike 3.
Absolutely. He thought he was done.
Huh. Well, he does have newfound life. The 2-2 pitch. That misses outside. The count's now full. So
that is a gift from home plate umpire Brad Polk.
Yeah, normally you see the batter take a few steps towards first in a full count situation. We didn't have that. Just 2 strikes, and White thought he was rung up. Nevertheless, the full count pitch is roped out into right field, but Hunter jumped after initially taking a step back, moves in to make the catch. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Miners on top, 1-0. I'm still amazed by that. I can't get over how a batter is going to step. Anyway,
I mean, you never think as a batter, you think you know what the strike zone is. You know when you've been rung up on strikes. You know, for a good part, what is a strike and what's not a strike. And he thought he was headed towards the bench.
2 down, bottom of the second inning. Danny Dopp, first pitch, lines one into right, one hopper into Jump's glove. So he'll keep this inning alive with the base hit. And last thing to mention with that Logan White interesting pitch. What's that, Nolan? Have you ever seen that before? That a batter voluntarily walks back to first?
Yeah, I just think that was like a big misjudgment by the umpire right there. Know that curveball crossed the plate, but might have set it out.
So Nolan has not seen that before. And he's played baseball a lot longer than we have, as we've just watched it for a little bit here. Nevertheless, 2 down, bottom of the second inning, runner on first for the Chinooks off Danny Dopp's base hit. Jaron Largusa steps in from the right side of the dish. He looks at a strike low. So Largusa standing in. Churchill from the stretch for the first time tonight. Comes set, his pitch misses high. Counts now tied up at 1. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Score is 1-0 in the Miners' favor. So Churchill looking to keep his success on the mound rolling. His 1-1 offering swung on by Largusa, sort of a soft liner out into the glove of Braden Merritt. So Churchill does allow a hit, but the Chinooks will leave him stranded, and the score is still 1-0. The Miners in favor here in Game 2 of today's doubleheader on Matsu Miners Radio. Miners with a 1-0 lead here, lead Jordan Field in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Only going 7, ladies and gentlemen. As this is Brad Walker. Alongside me is Connor Mills. I'd like to thank you for tuning in wherever you may be throughout this wonderful earth that we live on. And once again, I mentioned it in Game 1, but a special shout out to Miners utility player Aaron Walter's mother celebrating her 50th birthday today. So if you're still tuning in Game 2, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday.
Yet again,
and hopefully it's going absolutely wonderful on your big day. So Danny Wright will step in, leading things off for the Miners here in the third inning. They are leading 1-0. Wright, Pinarini, Henson due up. So Danny Wright sort of been struggling the past week. Only 1 hit in his past 12 at-bats as he lines one out into left field, but not going to have enough on it. Making the nice catch is Jaron Largusa for out number 1. I tell you what, he squared up on the bat on that one. Almost thought it was going to be a nice hit, but didn't quite get into that left center gap. So Austin Pinarini will stand in. Otherwise known as Pino. Pinarini designated hitting today. Caught back in Game 1, reached on a walk back in the first inning. As Kindrick winds and deals. Nails the outer edge for strike 1. So he'll move in the count. Head of Pinarini, 0-1. Kindricks, 0-1 pitch to that nice breaker. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Miners have already struck out 3 times today. Rather, 4 times. As Kindrick came into today's contest with 15 strikeouts, make it 1 more. He is now up to 20 strikeouts on the season with Pinarini swinging through that one. 5 today. Spencer Henson will step in. Got a RBI double back in the first inning. Keep his little RBI streak going as he is now up to 3 RBIs today. Got that nice home run back in game 1 as well. So Kindrick kicks and deals. First pitch to Henson, misses outside. And Henson has just been on an absolute tear this season, really dominating these pitchers, batting .381 now coming into this game. As the 1-0 hits the lower part of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, top of the third inning. Miners leading 1-0. Up to 12 RBIs on the season. Rather, 13 now with that RBI back in the first inning. They check. Did he go down? Marvin King, the first base umpire, says no.
We've seen that go the other way for less in the past.
So Kindrick kicks and delivers the 2-1. Hard hit ball. Chopper over to third base. Wharton struggles gathering it, but does, and then makes the nice throw over to first for out number 3. So the Miners are retired in order for the second inning in a row, but do lead the Chinooks 1-0. Keep it here on Matsu Miners Radio. Miners won, Chinooks nothing in game 2 of today's doubleheader. Miners falling in game 1, so they look to avenge that loss and split the doubleheader today. As Ian Churchill on the mound, only thrown 28 pitches through the first 2 innings, so working very efficiently as Harper, Forte, and Collins are due up. Hopper came in to pinch run back in game 1. On the season, Harper just 5 hits in 32 at-bats. As he looks to bunt, pulls it back, looking at the ball outside. 1-0 is the count. Harper, along with those 5 hits, does not have an RBI yet to his name, as he laces one down the left field line. Back on his horse is Chugiak-Eagle. He won't get to it. To Hopper to the wall. Around first and on his way to second. He'll be in there standing. So a leadoff double for Thomas Harper to begin the bottom half of this third inning for the Chinooks. That would be the tying run as they trail 1-0.
Just went up and in to go get that pitch, fell into his wheelhouse, and a long fly ball to left over the head of Quiggle. So good piece of hitting. Got to tip your cap to him.
So Harper's first double of the season comes in the bottom half of this third inning to lead things off. It's actually his first hit since June 23rd. Nevertheless, lefty-on-lefty matchup. Anthony Forte steps in for the first time tonight. 2 for 3 back in game 1. He has a runner in scoring position to possibly tie this game up. He dribbles one foul over to the right side. So Churchill heading the count on 1. Churchill only allowed 1 hit back in the last inning. It was a single with 2 outs, and he shut down the next batter. Has yet to work out of the stretch from the Chinooks' first batter in the inning. Well, that has changed right now. So takes a look at second. Now is ready to motion to the plate. He kicks and fires. Gets Forte to swing through. He did not get any piece of the bat on it, so it'll squiggle behind the backstop. And Harper will move 90 feet closer to scoring. But Churchill is ahead in the count 0-2. Nobody out. Bottom of the third inning. Chinooks looking to tie things up as they trail 1-0. Forte playing center field in this game. He's driven in 10 so far on the season. Only Chinook in double digits in the RBI department. So Churchill's 0-2 offering is lined right to Spencer Henson, who makes the nice one-hop stop. And then looking back, Harper at third, and then on his horse to make the out over at first. So nice play from Spencer Henson is what you should get out of that whole commentary right there. One down, bottom of the third inning. Miners on top 1-0.
It was a hard hit ball from Forte. Henson, he knew what he wanted to do. As soon as he got the ball, he had to pay attention, make the backhand play. Then he stared down Harper all the way back to third, while also running back to first in time to retire Forte. So it was a nice, very nice defensive play from Henson.
So with one down, Bailey Collins will stand in. He looks at a ball outside from Ian Churchill. Ian Churchill doing a nice job tonight of starting hitters ahead. This is one of the few times that he's been behind off the first pitch. So still from the stretch with a runner on third and only one down. His second offering is grounded hard over to second. Nice sliding stop by Danny Wright. And the throw over to first for out number 2. And the Chinooks still have a runner on third. So Churchill doing a nice job of trying to work out of this jam.
The Miners' defense was shaky in game 1, but here in game 2, tremendous plays from Henson and now Danny Wright. Wright diving play, looks the runner back, throws to first. Routine, made it look easy, not routine.
So lefty on lefty matchup as the third baseman Fullerton stands in. Check swing for a strike. Fullerton 0 for 1 today. Struck out back in the first inning. So Churchill trying to work his way out as the tying run's only 90 feet away here in the bottom of the third inning. Churchill delivers another strike. He's ahead in the count 0-2, doing a great job from working to head in this game too. The southpaw from Santa Barbara City College. His 0-2. Once again, bounced over to second, diving, trying to make the stop is right. It just barely dribbled out of his glove. Great effort, but unfortunately it did not bounce his way. And the Chinooks tied up at 1 off that infield single from J. Paul Fullerton.
Again, I guess the luck ran out with the great defensive plays. Danny Wright did a nice job laying out, getting a glove on it, making sure it doesn't get into the outfield, but unfortunately couldn't come up with it to get the out. So
that's the third hit tonight for the Chinooks, and it brings across the tying RBI. So we're knotted up at 1 as Jordan Wharton stands in. He swings through and misses. So 0-1 to Wharton. Wharton coming into this game was 7 of his last 23 with 3 runs batted in. So a nice upward trend of recent. However, it's down the count 0-1. So Churchill still working out of the stretch as Fullerton's out on first. Now this game is tied. Churchill kicks and deals. Nice breaking ball. Hits the outside edge. He's ahead in the count 0-2. So some nice 2-out hitting so far from the Chinooks this inning. Has brought them across a run. But Churchill looks to set them down and head in to the dugout with only 1-1 game. This one lined straight back into our little opening. Rather opening, but it is fenced off. So the count will stay at 0-2. Miners 1, Chinooks 1. Here in the bottom of the third inning. Churchill's pitch, a jam job to Wharton, who softly pops it up to Danny Wright, who runs under and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Chinooks get 1 run on 2 hits, and the game is now tied at 1 as we head into the 4th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back into Lee Jordan Field, where the Miners and Chinooks are all squared up at 1. We enter into this 4th inning. We have a special guest with us here in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Nolan Monahan, left-handed pitcher out of Wasilla, Alaska. Nolan, what's it been like so far this season? This is your 2nd season as a Miner. How are things going so far in year number 2?
Well, it's going pretty good, you know. I mean, we had about pretty much the same stars last year. Last year, I remember our record at 18 games in being 11-7. We matched that. But right now we're sitting pretty at 12-9.
13-9.
13-9, my bad.
It's all good.
And, yeah, so hopefully we just keep rolling. I mean, last year we ended off 39-15. So hopefully last year at the end of the year, we ran 14 of our last 15 games being wins. So hopefully, you know, we just keep things going, keep going with the flow of the game, and then just keep getting wins. You know, if you play hard, the win and loss column will solve itself.
As Hunter Jump stands in from the left side of the plate, he'll face the left-hander Larson Kindrick for his 4th inning of work. Kindrick winds and deals his first pitch to Jump. Nails the lower part of the plate. How impressed are you with Ian Churchill's performance so far in this game?
Churchill has been doing well, especially coming later in the year than most of the guys. I mean, he was on the second wave of people coming in, and he just came in and does what he does best, and he just throws strikes early in counts and just whips off that breaking ball when he needs to, and that change has been looking really nice. He's been working on that a lot lately. So, I mean, it's been really impressive watching him today so far.
0-1 hits the outer edge. We're now 0 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter Jump, who looks at 1 in the turf. Nice block by Fullerton. So the count's now moved to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tied up at 1 here in the top of the 4th inning between the Miners and Chinooks. Again, we have on with us Nolan Monahan, the left-handed thrower. As Jump lines 1, but that's straight at the second baseman, Thomas Harper, for out number 1. So, Nolan, your start yesterday, first time pitching in 19 days. Was that the longest time you've pitched, like longest break?
Well, I mean, in the spring season, I sprained my UCL, so I was out for about 8 weeks. But, I mean, being healthy, yeah, that was my longest one in a while. So, you gotta start getting adjusted to being on the mound against batters again and stuff. But, yeah.
As Kindrick's first pitch into Avitia has him swinging through. So what did you do to try to keep your rhythm and keep yourself hot and ready for a game during those 19 days?
You know, just doing the same thing every day. I go through my routine, you know, do my stretching. Every once in a while, I'll spread it out in long toss, but most days I'd go 120 feet, you know, do some pull downs and just keep working out and keeping my body in shape.
So this pitch misses high. The count's now 1-1. Kindrick winds and deals his pitch. Breaker misses high once again. So you had the nice start, 3 innings, only 1 hit given up in 3 scoreless innings. How good that feel to provide for your team?
It was awesome, honestly. I mean, we're going through a stretch of 15 games in 15 days. We're in the heart of it right now. But, I mean, just to be able to go out there and do my job for my team, which is all part of the plan. So it made coach's life easier.
So Kindrick delivers a strike on the outer edge. The count's now 2-2 as he offers to Avitia, who bounces it foul over to the left side. And you mentioned making coaches proud and stuff. I understand there was sort of a script for yesterday's, and you did exactly your part in that.
Yeah, the coach was really happy with it. You know, sometimes I can scare him a little bit, but I mean, one thing he always says about me is I always get the job done. So I mean, that's all I can do for him.
So the 2-2 pitch misses high. The count's now worked full, and you did get a nosebleed about after your first warm-up pitch. How did that sort of affect you in those first few batters?
Well, when Mary came out to, you know, stuff my nose with a cotton swab, she kind of stuffed that thing in my cranium.
3-2s launched in the air to right field. Not making many catches in the can of corn for out number 2. Here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 down, Miners tied up at 1. Tyler Bozetti will step in.
But yeah, I mean, just getting used to that. I mean, my eyes were all watery for the first at bat, but after getting used to that, I mean, it's just a little thing in your nose. I mean, your body still works the same, so you just got to go through the motions again and start dialing it in.
Have you ever had a nosebleed during a game before?
No.
So that was a first for you as Tyler Bozetti, nice hit out down the left field line. That's going to be a few hops before Largusa can get it. And Bozetti, with that speed, slides into second and will keep the top half of this 4th inning going with the 2-out double. So nice hit for Tyler Bozetti. And Bozetti, that's just his third hit in his past 21 at-bats. So nice work there for Tyler Bozetti to try to get things going again. And you come mostly out of the bullpen, the Electric Factory. How fun has that been this season?
I mean, the name speaks for itself. It's the Electric Factory. It's an awesome time, honestly. Love it.
So stepping in now is the right-hand hitting Drew Swift. He puts one foul over to the right side and out of play. So the celebrations, how is that coordinated? Do you guys practice that? Is it a on-the-fly thing?
It's mostly on the fly. We just wing it. Just like, everything else, we come out with the rowboat when Kona hit the grand slam. We're just like, oh, come on, let's just organize it. And yeah, we just pull it out.
So the 0-1 pitch into Swift misses low and in the turf. The count's now 1-1. How much fun are you guys having as a team or in the clubhouse this year?
It's a ton of fun. You just get to meet new people, and you guys are all stuck up in Alaska. Most people think this is the middle of nowhere. So you guys just got to hang out with each other and get to know each other, have fun.
So 1-1. Kindrick checks second, now motions to the plate. He misses low once again. 2 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, top of the 4th inning. Counts tied at 1. Once again, we're here with left-handed pitcher Nolan Monahan. And Nolan, how fun is it? I know this is your second season doing it, but pitching in front of a lot of familiar faces since you're from Wasilla.
Oh, it's really fun, honestly. After the game, you can see people up in the crowd once you're done throwing and stuff like that, and they all say good job, hey, just being able to talk to all the people and all the kids and stuff like that. It's just an awesome time.
And we noticed during calling days, you did get a lot of shout outs when you're walking through the crowds. A lot of people knowing your name, familiarizing a key part in that back-to-back winning championship year last year. Kindrick's 2-1 is in and lined out into right field. That's going to be a one-hopper before Collins can get to it. Ben Taylor going to send Bozetti home. The throw on its way from Collins, not nearly in time. Bozetti scores, and the Miners retake the lead 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Nolan, what do you think about that one?
That was huge, honestly. Score in as many innings as you can. Usually people can put up a 4 spot in 1 inning, but that usually won't do the trick. It's those games where you score in multiple innings that usually come out winning. Just keep chipping at teams. It kind of wears them down.
So Drew Swift now in the double digits with RBIs. He has 9. As Braden Merritt will step in from the left side of the plate. And left-hander Larson Kindrick now has given up 2. Newfound lead for the Miners. And his pickoff move worked as Drew Swift is caught in a pickle. Run down. Ozuna will throw to first. Swift tried to dive under it, but couldn't quite get under it in time. So he's tagged out on the pickoff move from Kindrick. But not before a couple of hits strung together for another run. The Miners now lead the Chinooks 2-1. And before we head to break, we'd like to thank you for your time, Nolan.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll head to break on Matsu Miners Radio. When we come back, we'll have the bottom of the 4th inning for you. Ian Churchill out on the hill for his 4th inning of work. He's only given up 1 run on 3 hits so far, and now has a fresh lead, 2-1. Miners looking to avenge a Game 1 loss against the Chinooks, which is not surprising. This game's close. Now the past 3 in a row have been decided by 1 run. So the Miners on top after tacking on a run in the top half of the 4th inning. Churchill's first pitch in the bottom of the 4th is lined foul and out of play. To Gregory Ozuna. Flew out, long fly out to Danny Wright. Or rather, just flew out to Danny Wright back in the 2nd inning, mixing that up with last inning's fly out. So Churchill stands in 0-1 count with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. His 0-1, that's a shot. Fouling out of play to the left side.
We got real in front of that one.
So Ozuna, only 5 hits in his past 25 at-bats. 2 of those have been doubles, however, as Churchill misses outside. Counts now 1-2. And on the year, Ozuna is doing quite nicely, batting .289 coming into this game, but he swings through and will strike out. So count it as second strikeout of the night for Ian Churchill and the first out at the bottom of the fourth inning. That brings up Logan White, the left-handed hitting designated hitter out of Coastal Carolina University, where he just redshirted his freshman year, was drafted in the 39th round by the LA Dodgers. So definitely nice prep career that allowed him to get drafted. As Churchill nails the outside edge, he's really doing a great job tonight of throwing those first pitch strikes.
And that's where you got to get ahead of the batters.
0-1 swung on and missed. Had White fold. Churchill once again ahead in the count, 0-2. And 2 is the count. Churchill winds and deals. He'll miss outside with a fastball. Counts now 1-2. It's really surprising that Churchill only 2 strikeouts so far this game. He's doing so well of getting ahead of hitters. It's just the Chinooks are doing a really nice job of putting in play with 2 strikes. White can't do the same thing. He swings through. 2 up, 2 down. Both have been on strikeouts to start the bottom half of this fourth inning.
Now Churchill, he's just come in and done his thing. Done a very nice job for the Miners in the beginning parts of the season.
He is just dialed in right now. Only allowing 2 runners on. Scratch that, 3 runners. 2 last inning and 1 the prior inning before that. He misses for a ball. Counts now 1-0. So Churchill from the wind, his pitch. Swung and missed. Counts now 1 ball, 1 strike to Danny Dopp. He was one of those 3 runners with a base hit back in the second inning. So his 1-1 missed inside. The counts now moved to 2 balls and 1 strike. So the Chinooks did not score in their last game before game 1, as Churchill hits the outer edge 2-2, where they lost to the Oilers yesterday 5-0. They only had 4 hits. So doing a nice job of bringing the lumber in game 1, delivering 13. So Churchill's 2-2 pitch, big breaker. Brad Polk rings up Danny Dopp for out number 3 of the fourth inning, and the Miners will head into the 5th, leading the Chinooks 2-1 on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back into the 5th inning of action here at Lee Jordan Field between the Chinooks and Miners. The Miners regain the lead last inning with 1 run, and they'll have Merritt, Quiggle, and Wright due up to begin this 5th inning. They'll still face Larson Kindrick, who only has allowed 3 hits so far. Back in the first inning when he gave up a run, he walked 2. Scratch that, 3 walks back in inning number 1. So Braden Merritt steps up to the dish, 0 for 1 tonight, but definitely has been on an upslope of this part of the season.
Number 4, Braden Merritt.
So Merritt comes into this at-bat with 3 RBIs to his name on the season. Kindrick's first pitch into Merritt. He's trying to drag bunt. It's down the first base line, moving up to make the play, and then tagging Merritt is Danny Dopp for out number 1.
Now Merritt almost doing what he did in game 1. Just that bunt was a little bit too close to the line. His first bunt was away from the bag, so it took the first baseman away from the opportunity to tag him out. So this one too close, and it got tagged out.
This brings up Chugiak-Eagle, who's third in batting average coming into this game. He looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Been struggling to start game 2. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Kona, his first time striking out was last game in 6 days. So the 1-0 to Chugiak-Eagle fouls it off to the left side. Now Chugiak-Eagle, in his last 5 at-bats, he struck out 3 of them today. So looking to change things, as he's really just been on fire to begin this season. The 1-1 to Chugiak-Eagle. Misses outside, 2-1. Chugiak-Eagle, in the past 7 days leading up to this game, 9 hits and 24 at-bats with 6 runs batted in. The 1-1, that's hit high in the air into center field. Center fielder Forte is camped under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So Danny Wright will look to keep the top half of this inning alive. The Miners lead 2-1 with 2 down. He is 0 for 1 today, reached in the first on a walk. Flew out to left field. Back in the 3rd inning. The switch hitting second baseman will bat from the left side of the dish. Kindrick's first pitch to Wright. He's swinging, bounces it foul behind him. Wright, cousins with Miners reliever Nathan Bach, as Braden Merritt retrieves the foul ball. The 0-1 looked at by Danny Wright. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the bull into the left side of the dugout. And it doesn't quite make it. The 1-1, Kindrick's pitch. Missed low once again. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Top of the 5th inning, yes. Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Sun is definitely shining. Those clouds keep moving more and more to give way to more sunlight. Kindrick winds and deals. Wright swinging, but fouled over to the right side and out of play. So the count's now tied up at 2. So Kindrick in his last outing got a win in that start, went 5 2/3, only gave up 1 run on 4 hits. So a little different right now. It's his 2-2 is lined straight up the middle of the field, and Danny Wright will keep the top half of this inning going with a base hit.
All right. With the at-bats, he's starting to get the hits going again, raising the batting average and just being productive at the top of the lineup.
Now 16 hits on this season for Danny Wright. We mentioned had the hot start, but then in the past week coming into this game, only 1 hit and 12 at-bats. So looking to get back up on that nice little stretch. First pitch in the Pinerini lefty on lefty matchup. Misses low for ball 1. Pinerini today is 0 for 1. Walked back in the first inning. Struck out back in the 3rd. So he stands in. Miners leading 2-1 in the top of the 5th inning. They check Wright back over to first, who's staying fairly close because Kindrick has moved already full Drew Swift back in the 4th inning. So he does not want to be fulled in the top half of this inning.
Well, the one thing you do with a lefty pitcher is you just go on first move.
So Kindrick from the stretch misses high, 2-0.
And Swift went on first move. As a lefty pitcher, you can see that and just throw over. They try to get the correct jump and guess where the lefty is going to go.
Pinerini stands in. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Kindrick, his pitch is flied into the middle of the infield. Shallow middle part of the infield. And from first base, making the catch, Danny Dopp for the 3rd out of the inning. The Miners get a base hit with 2 outs, but unfortunately the next batter in Boston Pinerini flies out. They still hold a 2-1 advantage over the Chinooks. We'll bring you the bottom half of the 5th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Welcome back into Lee Jordan Field for game 2 of today's doubleheader. Miners currently leading 2-1 as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning with Largusa, Harper, and Forte due up for the Chinooks, the bottom half of their lineup. And Largusa, he's 0 for 1 today, flew out back in the 2nd inning. Only combined 7 hits. As Ian Churchill, he is dealing right now through 4 innings. He's only allowed 3 hits and 1 run. So looking in, his first pitch, the bottom of half of this 5th inning, misses low. Counts now 1-0. So Largusa playing left field this game out of Biola. As this one is hit right in between the gap of short and third and rolls out into left where Chugiak-Eagle picks it up. And Jaron Largusa gets things started for the Chinooks with a single.
Just a hard hit off the bat, hard ground ball. Bassetti, with the quick reflexes, couldn't get it, and just a good overall piece of hitting.
Largusa with 7 hits now on the season. So Churchill will have to work out of the stretch for the rest of this bottom half of the inning, unless he can manage a double play right now to Thomas Harper. As nice pickoff attempt from Churchill, but Largusa does get back in time. Miners trying to work their way back to 500 on the road. Try to get up to 6-6, whereas the Chinooks look to keep their home success. They look to improve to 6-3. Harper's bunting to the left side of the infield. Churchill picks it up, but his throw not in time. Harper will reach on the bunt single. And now the Chinooks have runners on first and second to begin the home half of this 5th inning.
Just tough luck for the Miners. The ball didn't really go anywhere. Just kind of out in front of the mound by the time Churchill was able to get it. Couldn't throw it in time.
So the Miners lead 2-1. It should be worth mentioning, only playing 7 in this game because of the doubleheader. As Ian Churchill calls time, going to retie his shoe. That could be the reason he has just allowed back-to-back hits, which he has not done all game long.
Well, superstitions. You want to make sure your shoe is tied, and that way you don't trip.
Some pitchers definitely do a lot of different things or the same things to make sure they pitch well. That wind now really gusting, going out towards right field. So the left-hander, Anthony Forte, that would be in his favor. Score 2-1, bottom of the 5th inning here at Lee Jordan Field. Miners on top. Runners on first and second for the Chinooks as Forte steps in. He grounded out to Henson back in the 3rd inning. And Churchill delivers a strike. He's now ahead in the count, 0-1. Forte coming into this game with only 11 hits, but does have 10 RBIs out of that. So looks to tack on one more right now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Churchill comes set, chest high. Kicks and deals. He'll miss well outside. The count's now moved to 1-1 strike. So we're here in Chugiak, Alaska for a doubleheader today. We are in game 2. Chinooks took game 1, 7-6, and made it past 3 games now. Have been decided by just 1 run. So Churchill's 1-1 pitch, fouled straight back, and out of play. He's ahead in the count, 1-2, with nobody out. Runners on first and second. The first time the Chinooks have really had a lot of pressure on Churchill tonight, other than the 3rd inning. Other than that, Churchill's been pretty dominant. So he's from the stretch. His pitch, big breaker, that nails the bottom part of the plate. Once again, Brad Polk will ring up another Chinook. And Ian Churchill, his past 2 strikeouts have been called strike 3s. So he's up to 5 strikeouts today. Now 17 on the season. So key first out for Ian Churchill. Chinooks will still have runners on first and second for Bailey Collins, who coming in, well now, however, has 2 hits in his past 18 at-bats. 0 for 2 currently today. Churchill's first pitch into Collins is hit in the air into center. On the move coming in is Braden Merritt. 4 out number 2. So the past 2 pitches have been outs for Ian Churchill as he gives his glove a little slap in excitement.
Well, that's exactly what he needed to do. You know, he gets a big strikeout. Now he pitched the contact, got the fly ball. Great piece of hitting.
So 2 down. J. Paul Fullerton will step in, the left-handed hitting catcher today. He comes in 1 of 19. Rather, make it 2 of 21 against the Miners on the season. So Churchill, with runners on first and second, misses high. Fullerton had to duck out of the way of that one. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Chinooks on top, 2-1. Ian Churchill still working in just his 2nd start of the season. 4th appearance. Has had some long, in his first 2 appearances, they were long innings of work. So his 1-0 into Fullerton, misses high. He's missed back-to-back pitches high. First and off speed, second was a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners on first and second for the Chinooks. They are down 2-1, so the go-ahead run is on first with an insurance run being at the plate. But with 2 outs, Ian Churchill has different ideas. He sets and delivers, gets J. Paul Fullerton to swing through that one. Counts now 2-1. Fullerton asked Brad Polk, was that a strike?
I would have guessed that was a bit outside, but it looked good enough to swing at.
Yeah, sometimes a high fastball is a tasty pitch to swing at. Churchill looks to tie this count up at 2. His 2-1 pitch. That's a bender. Nice pitch from Ian Churchill. It is tied up at 2 with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ian Churchill, after allowing the first 2 batters on, looks to get out of this. So he'll stand in. Gets his signal from Avitia. He'll come set from the chest. Kicks and fires. Gets J. Paul Fullerton to strike out to end the inning. So after allowing the first 2 on, Ian Churchill sets down the Chinooks in order and holds this Matsu Miners 2-1 lead as we head into the 6th inning. Miners 2, Chinooks 1. As the Miners have Henson jump and Avitia do up. Really a sort of pitching duel going on as Kindrick and Churchill are dealing for their respective teams. And through 4 innings, we already saw the first 12 runs of Game 1 scored back just over an hour ago. As Spencer Henson stands in, he was responsible for the last run to come across in that game. Unfortunately, the Miners needed 2 more to come across in the final 2 innings of play. As rather, there was all 13 scored. That last run came in the 5th inning. So down to our final 2 innings with the Miners on top 6-1, or 2-1 rather. First pitch into Henson, misses inside. The count's now 1-0. So coming in to this game 2, Spencer Henson was leading the ABL in average at a clip of 381. 1-0, that is smashed deep into center field. Moving back is Forte. He just goes over his head. That hits the wall. So Spencer Henson will move into second and lead things off once again with a double.
That was just a smash deep into center. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do so far this season. He took whatever he's doing in the spring, he's carried it over here into the ABL, and it's been tremendous to watch.
That's 3 straight games now where Spencer Henson, his first hit being a start of an inning at bat, he got a double. And now he leads off another inning here in the 6th with a double. And the Miners look to extend this 2-1 lead with Hunter Jump standing in at the dish. 0 for 1 today, walked back in the first inning, lined out to second baseman Harper in the 4th. So first pitch from Kindrick, misses low to Hunter Jump. So 1-0 is the count. Miners leading 2-1. Henson standing out on second off that leadoff double. The pitch. That is skied out into shallow left center. Moving back is Ozuna. He's called off by the left fielder Largusa, who makes the catch for out number 1. David Avitia will stand in. He's looking for his first hit today as he is 0 for 2. And now is just 2 of his last 12 at-bats. So trying to find a spot to throw something in and possibly get an RBI, which he has not done in 12 at-bats. So the first pitch to Avitia, that's dribbled foul over to the right side.
Well, just to go back to Henson, right now his batting average at 394. 394. This is insane.
It truly is. And a real team leader in the clubhouse. So really everything you want out of a baseball player, Spencer Henson is. As Kindrick misses high, the count's now 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, top of the 6th inning. Miners leading 2-1. So Kindrick working out of the stretch. He's done so 4 out of the 6 innings. So checks Henson at second. Now Avitia dribbles one over to second. Swallowing it up and making the play is Thomas Harper for out number 2. That does move Spencer Henson just 90 feet away from scoring. But there is 2 outs, and that brings up Tyler Bozetti, who's still in search of his first hit. Or rather, his third hit in past 20. That streak was ended in the 4th inning. I guess I should have just looked down and found that one. Double back in the 4th for Mr. Bozetti. He did end up coming around to score this game's, or the Miners' second run of the game. Bozetti swings through. First pitch from Kindrick. He's down on the count 0-1. So Henson on third. The Miners look to improve this 2-1 lead. Kindrick comes set, chest high, kicks and deals. He just hits the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So Bozetti will have to protect here with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Try to keep the top half of this inning alive. Danny Wright did so last inning with 2 outs. So Kindrick's 0-2 offering. Fouled back by Tyler Bozetti. So the count will hang at 0-2. With 2 down. Kindrick trying to get through 6 innings. That is, with only 2 runs allowed. His pitch, that's launched over and out of play by Tyler Bozetti. So Harper shifted just over a little bit towards that second base bag at second. Little hole formed, and that everyone in their normal positions. 0-2 count. Drew Swift, the Sun Devil, waits on deck. So the 0-2 pitch misses low. Big breaker that couldn't quite find the zone for Kindrick.
And that's a good eye. It's a tempting pitch to swing at. It almost curved right back into the outer half of the zone, but great job by Bozetti to let it go.
5 hits for both squads in this game, too. The 1-2 offering misses low and in the turf. Nice block there from Fullerton to eliminate any chance of Henson coming in and score. And there is some action happening in the Chinooks pen. They have a right-hander up. Count's tied up at 2 down. Miners leading 2-1 in the 6th inning. Kindrick's pitch. That's lined right over the second baseman Harper's head, and Bozzetti will have an RBI. And he wants more than just a base hit as he flies into second base, sliding in 2-out RBI from Tyler Bozzetti to move this Miners lead 3-1.
Now, this is exactly what the type of day that Tyler Bozzetti needed. Picks up 2 hits today. He's got a couple RBIs, and just this is something that can spark his offense going on towards the other half of the season.
As the pitching coach for the Chinooks pitching coach Chris Beck comes to the mound to meet with Kindrick. Got to wonder when his outing will end, and actually, it's going to end right now. So he'll walk off the mound, and we'll head for a quick little break. When we come back, we'll tell you all about the new pitcher here in the top of the 6th inning. Miners leading 3-1. Welcome back into Lee Jordan Field here in Chugiak, where we have a new man on the mound for the Chinooks, in right-hander Honus Kindrick. Well, that last name sounds awfully familiar, Brad. Well, it should. It's the older brother of starting pitcher Larson Kindrick. So Honus relieves Larson after going 5 2/3, gave up 6 hits. Currently, he's given up 3 runs, all earned, but the runner on second and Bozzetti is his responsibility. He walked 3, struck out 5, so currently he is the losing pitcher on record unless the Chinooks turn it around with their final 6 outs. And Honus Kendrick steps in. His 8th appearance through 7 has an ERA of 2.40 in 15 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, and has issued 3 walks. Last time he came on to pitch was 3 days ago, where he went 1 2/3, gave up 5 runs. Only 1 was earned, however. So there's a man in scoring position for the Miners with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Drew Swift steps in, the right-handed hitting shortstop. First pitch from Kindrick is towered into the middle of the infield, but moving back around shortstop is Gregory Ozunia for out number 3. So the Miners do tack on 1 more in the top half of this inning to extend their lead 3-1 on Matsu Miners Radio. bottom of the 6th inning. Miners leading 3-1 over the Chinooks in game 2 of today's doubleheader. So that means we'll only play 7. So the Chinooks have 6 outs to score 2 runs to extend this game, but they have to do it against Ian Churchill, who's been pretty dominant so far, only allowing 1 run on 5 hits. And he's already struck out 6 tonight. Has yet to walk a batter as well. So he kicks and deals. The 3-1. The score's 3-1. He hits for a strike against Jordan Warden, the right-handing third baseman who's flown out twice tonight. Wants to first base and wants to second base. So the 0-1 is in the turf. Counts now 1-1. And Churchill's doing a really nice job of keeping his pitch count low and starting out with a lot of first pitch strikes. So his 1-1 swung on and missed by Jordan Wharton. He's ahead in the count 1-2. So Churchill kicks and deals. Just misses outside 1-2.
Now Vitia set up outside. He hit the glove trying to get the batter to swing and chase out of the zone, but was unable to do so.
The 2-2. Wharton thought about it. Did he go? He did. So that'll be a swinging strikeout for out number 1 in this inning. And that is Churchill's 7th strikeout. Now the Miners with 185 strikeouts on the season. That's ABL leading. So they've definitely been sitting down Chinooks batters very nicely. So right-handed hitting Gregory Ozuna stands in. 0 for 2 tonight. He has one of those strikeouts as this first pitch bounces behind Avitia and hits Brad Polk in the face mask. Shakes it off very nicely.
That's why. Where's all that protective gear?
Actually, it's a standing O from the crowd there here at Lee Jordan Field. So the 1-0 misses high. The count's now 2-0. Some action in the Miners' pen. Right-handed closer Bryce Tossan warming up. Churchill looking to get through 6 innings of work with only 1 run allowed. This one's roped into right center field. Merritt moving back on his horse and makes the nice catch at the wall for out number 2.
That's why it's important to have a speedy outfielder in Braden Merritt. Merritt just got on his horse, got into the gap, and made the catch.
So Logan White will look to extend this inning. The left-handed hitting designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 tonight as well, so still in search of his first hit. Chinooks only with 5. So with 2 down, Churchill misses high. Miners leading 3-1. So Churchill looking in, trying to find his first strike against White. He'll have to find it on the next pitch as he misses outside. The count's now 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs. Sun is still shining greatly here at Lee Jordan Field. Churchill winds and delivers, gets White big swinging through. Counts now 2-1.
Now White has a little bit of an uppercut, and when you have that, you pitch high and inside, he's not going to be able to get in and reach it.
White back in game 1, batted 7th, so moved up to the 5 spot here in game 2. As he fouls one over to the right side, Churchill now, after falling behind 2-0, has worked with 2 strikes. Now the count's at 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. Miners are top 3-1. Churchill winds and fires. Gets him looking for strike number 3 and out number 3 as well in this inning. So Ian Churchill sets down the Chinooks 1-2-3 for the 3rd time tonight, and the Miners will enter the final inning of regulation with a 3-1 lead over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. final inning of regulation here in game 2 of today's doubleheader, which is the 7th inning, since we only play 7 here in the ABL in doubleheaders. Merritt, Quiggle, and right due up. That's actually the second time this combination has been due up to begin an inning. 2 out of the last 3 innings. So Merritt stands in. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Lined out to first baseman Dopp bunted to Dopp last time he was at the plate. He looks at a strike outside from Honus Kindrick. Honus, we mentioned early, older brother of Larson. Nat Biola this past year saw 16 appearances and 17 innings pitched. Had a 13.24 ERA, so he misses outside 1-1. Believe it or not, his brother Larson is committed to Biola as well. So Honus looking to set down the Miners and hold this to just a 2-run deficit. And he gets Merritt swinging through, so he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miners looking to avenge game 1 loss, improve their record to 14 wins. And the Chinooks trying to get a win to get to 500 and 11-11. Merritt lightly hits one over the head of third baseman Wharton, but slices just foul, and will stay at 1-2.
Almost a nice little seeing eye hit for Braden Merritt, but fortunately that goes foul.
Yeah, it really was. As Merritt did have that nice game 1, went 2 for 3. So he stands in, looking to protect with 2 strikes. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. Miners leading 3-1. Kindrick looks in, kicks and deals. He'll miss outside, 2-2. As Tossan up in the pen, getting warm for the Miners. Looks like he'll come on in the 7th for the save. But Churchill has been pitching well, so definitely a chance he'll come out. The 2-2 misses high. Braden Merritt, after falling behind 1-2, has now worked the count full against Honus Kindrick.
You know, Merritt has been able to work the count, deep pitches, and has put together some quality at-bats in the last couple.
Kindrick's 3-2 offering. Fouled off over to the left side by Braden Merritt. He stays alive with the nobody out. Up next is Chugiak-Eagle, who is 0 for 3 tonight. However, has been hitting very well before coming into this game. Nevertheless, the count is full with nobody out. Kindrick motions to the plate. And Merritt, base hit right up the middle as he slaps his hands on his way to first base. So he leads off this inning with the base hit. First hit of the night for Mr. Merritt.
Now Kindrick missed down the middle. Merritt did not, lining it straight back up the middle.
Now Merritt's 11th hit on the season. So that batting average rising slowly but surely as he's been doing quite well in the recent weeks. So man on first for the Miners. Chugiak-Eagle stands in. Little righty on lefty matchup once again in this inning.
I talked about his batting average is now up to 250.
So Kona looking for his first hit of the night. Struck out twice and has flown out. This would be a great chance to do it. Try to add some insurance. And he's looking to bunt. He held it back as it was a strike on the inside part of the plate. But he's now down on the count 0-1. Miners looking to go 1-1 today and move to 500 on the road. As Kindrick checks over at first, but Merritt slides in safely. Merritt with only 1 stolen base on the season, but does have a lot of speed, much like most of this Miners ball club. Kindrick comes set, chest high. His pitch is bounced over to first base. Dopp will move over, throw to second, and the throw back to first is not in time. So the Chinooks do get the first out of this 7th inning, but there will still be a runner on first for the Miners. As Quiggle reaches on a fielder's choice. So Chugiak-Eagle's 6-game hitting streak is in jeopardy unless the Chinooks really extend this game. But the Miners, I'm sure, have other ideas. So 1 down, Danny Wright stands in. He'll bat from the left side of the dish for the first time this game. The switch hitting second baseman. 1 for 2 today, reached on a walk in the first, flew out in the third, and base hit back in the 5th inning. So Kindrick was working out of the stretch, and he has to check Quiggle once again, but Quiggle makes it back safely. Quiggle on the season has 4 stolen bases. So Kindrick's first pitch to right is dribbled over to the second baseman, Harper, over to short for 1, back to first for 2, but not in time. So back-to-back double opportunity plays that haven't gone the Chinooks' way. In the top half of the 7th inning, will keep going for the Miners as they get yet another runner to reach on a fielder's choice.
You just replace one for the other.
Back-to-back 4 to 6 putouts over at second. Austin Pianarini steps in, looking to get an RBI. He's now done it 5 out of 6 games. Looks to keep that streak alive here in what could be his final at-bat as the Miners lead 3-1 in the top of the 7th and final inning. It would have to be most likely a home run or a very long double, or even triple for that matter. Kindrick's first pitch nails the outside corner for strike 1. It is a hitter's wind right now, blowing out, especially for the lefties. It's really blowing out to right field. We saw Henson go yard already today in game 1 to right center field. So Pianarini down on the count 0-1. Kindrick checks over at first. Daniel Wright slides back in time. Miners, I'm sure, have no intentions of stealing right now with 2 outs. They just want to keep that runner on. Kindrick, before even towing the rubber, throws over to first. You got to like that if you're a hitter, because that means he's a little nervous about the runner and may mess up on his pitching to you.
Well, you never know when a mistake pitch is going to come, so you got to be ready at all times.
So Kindrick's 0-1 to Pianarini is on the way. And he lines one. That's going to go towards the left center gap. But moving over to make the catch is Largusa for out number 3. The Miners get a hit and then go down in order after that. And we'll enter this final bottom half inning of play, leading the Chinooks 3-1 as they look to avenge a game 1 loss in today's doubleheader on Matsu Miners Radio. Chinooks have 3 outs to play with as they trail 3-1. They'll need 2 runs to extend this ball game, but they'll have to do it against the Miners closer, Bryce Tossan, on for looking for his 5th save. Through 9 appearances, has those 4 saves, 10 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 3 walks with a 1.8 ERA. So he has been very dominant for the Miners in his past 5 innings pitched and 5 appearances. He has not allowed a run, only allowed 3 runs all season through those 10 innings. So he's been very dominant, come up clutch many times for the Miners. His last appearance was the other night against the Oilers, where things were looked like they're going to fall apart for the Miners, but he came in and slammed the door on any idea of that to allow the Miners to win by 1. So a 2-run ball game. If the Chinooks do not score, that'll end the streak of games being decided by 1 between these 2 teams. And the Miners look to extend their lead in the season series to 4-2. It already sits at 3-2. So Bryce Tossan's first pitch, nice fastball, hits the inside part against Danny Dobb. So Darp, Largusa, and Harper are the first 3 bats, at least 3 bats for the Chinooks. The second pitch, this one towered over to the right side of the infield, calling everyone off near that first base line is Spencer Henson, so he makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 down, bottom of the 7th inning. Jaron Largusa steps in. He's 1 for 2 today. Got a base hit back in the 5th inning. 1 of 5 Chinook hits. And after what was really a hitter's game in game 1 with a combined 13 runs and 25 hits, been quite the opposite here in game 2. Only 4 runs so far on 12 hits. So Bryce Tossan looking to get 2 more outs for the Miners. As Largusa, warm burner over towards short, but Bozzetti cuts it off and throws to first for out number 2.
Great play by Bozzetti. He had the momentum coming from third base, coming in towards short to get it. He cuts it off. Strong throw to third, strong throw to first, and is able to get him.
So the Miners now look to improve to 14-9. And the Chinooks, if they want to keep this ball game alive, they have to get a runner on. As they're down to their final out, and Thomas Harper stands in from the left side of the plate. So Tossan's first pitch hits the lower part of the plate. He's ahead 0-1. Harper tonight is 2 for 2, so he is the man at the plate the Chinooks want. He's got 2 out of the 5 hits. Taston winds and delivers. This one fouled straight back to the cage, and the Chinooks are down to their final strike as they trail the Miners 3-1. And Bryce Tossan looking for his 5th save of the season. He looks in. His 0-2 pitch. Foul out of play to the left side. The Miners, if they can salvage a win, would improve themselves to 500 on the road at a clip of 6-6 before they head into the off day on Monday. So Tossan's 0-2, misses high. Counts now moved to 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. And the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Miners looking to avenge game 1 loss in today's doubleheader. Tossan delivers his 1-2, swung on and missed by Thomas Harper. That's the 3rd and final out of this ball game, and the Miners come out victorious here in game 2 of today's doubleheader and split the 2 games 1-1 with a 3-1 victory over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. So your winning pitcher tonight is Ian Churchill, who absolutely dominated 6 innings pitched, only gave up 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 8. Larson Kindrick will take the loss tonight as he allowed all of the Miner 3 runs. And on to get the save for the 5th time this season is right-hander Bryce Tossan. The Miners, very nice win tonight, 3-1. They did so on 7 hits. Chinooks 5. There was no errors in this ball game. The Miners left 6 on base, and the Chinooks only left 4 on base. So, Connor, any final thoughts, as there will be no post-game show tonight?
Well, you just got to love the way that Spencer Henson has been playing so far. He's bringing it with the bat. You know, he's been bringing it on the mound when he's been called upon to pitch. Henson and the rest of the Miners have been doing tremendous, and that's why we've been winning all these ball games.
So the Miners also improve on the road to 6-6, and the Chinooks will drop to 5-4 at home. The Miners now extend their lead in the season series 4-2, and also extend their record to 14-9 as they still sit atop of the ABL. And the Chinooks will drop to 10-12, 2 games under that 500 line. So for the final time tonight, the Miners are victorious in game 2 of today's doubleheader. And the doubleheader was split as the Miners won 3-1 over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. For Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure.